What happens when Hollywood's ultimate underdog faces off against late night's most cunning host, in a battle that exposes the dark heart of talk show agendas? Tonight, we're diving deep into the explosive clash that saw Sylvester Stallone storm off Stephen Colbert's stage in a moment that left audiences stunned and Colbert's polished persona in ruins. This wasn't just an interview, it was a betrayal that turned personal, revealing truths about late-night TV you won't believe. Before we unpack this raw story, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below on the wildest talk show meltdowns you've ever seen. The Late Show studio was alive with pre-show energy, the crowd buzzing as Sylvester Stallone, at 77, still carrying that iconic presence, arrived early, a habit born of respect for the crew. The Rocky legend was there to promote his passion project, a documentary tracing his father's immigrant journey from Italy to America, a story of grit, hope, and family that meant everything to him. Stallone sat in the green room, reviewing notes, his focus intense. This wasn't just promotion, it was a tribute to his father's sacrifice, a deeply personal tale of the American dream. Meanwhile, Stephen Colbert swept into his dressing room with his usual flair, but something was off. His assistant had briefed him on the agreed talking points, safe questions about the documentary, family, Stallone's legacy. But Colbert had other plans, his eyes glinting with ambition. "You know what?" he told his producer, adjusting his tie in the mirror. "I'm done with these softball interviews, let's shake things up, test the Italian stallion, see what he's made of." The producer frowned, uneasy. Stephen, his publicist, was clear, "Stick to the documentary, it's personal, no politics." Colbert's smirk widened. "Oh, we'll talk family, the American family, and what it means in today's divided world. Trust me, this'll be gold." The producer hesitated, sensing trouble, but Colbert was already sold on his vision of a viral moment, one that would spark headlines and cement his reputation as a fearless host. Stallone's publicist, Maria, paced nervously in the green room, her instincts screaming warning, after cryptic signals from the show's staff, questions veering into political territory, requests for background that felt invasive. "Sly, I'm getting a bad vibe," Maria said, checking her phone. "We should rethink this." Stallone looked up, calm but resolute. "Maria, I've been doing this 50 years, I can handle Stephen Colbert. This story about my father, it's bigger than any game he might play, people need to hear it." His voice carried the weight of a man who'd fought battles on screen and off, determined to honor his father's legacy of hard work and hope. The stage manager appeared. "Mr. Stallone, we're ready for you." As Stallone walked out, the audience erupted in genuine applause, their cheers warm, reverent, for a man who'd given them Rocky, Rambo *, and countless moments of inspiration. He waved, his half-smile lighting up the room, settling into the guest chair with a quiet strength. Colbert's introduction was polished, hitting notes about Stallone's storied career and the documentary, but as the applause faded, his demeanor shifted, his posture more aggressive, his smile turning predatory, like a hunter sizing up prey. "So, Sylvester," Colbert began, leaning forward with exaggerated interest, "this documentary, it's about your father's immigrant story, fascinating, especially now, when immigration's such a hot-button issue." Stallone nodded, expecting a straightforward chat. "Absolutely, Stephen, my father came from Italy with nothing, worked construction, struggled, but believed in the American dream. This film, it's about that hope, that fight." Colbert's tone shifted, a subtle jab creeping in. Right, but let's be real, Sylvester, your father's experience as a white European immigrant was different from what we see today with immigrants from other places, wouldn't you say?" The question caught Stallone off guard. It wasn't in the pre-interview notes. The audience sensed the turn, murmuring softly. Stallone's jaw tightened just slightly. "Well, Stephen, leaving everything behind, starting over in a new country, that's universal. Italians faced discrimination, hardship. My father wasn't welcomed with open arms." Colbert's eyes lit up, with a gleam of glee. Oh, come on, Sylvester, you're not seriously comparing Italian immigrants from the early 1900s to what's happening at our southern border, are you? The studio grew tense, the audience shifting uncomfortably. This wasn't the fun interview they'd expected. Stallone's voice stayed even, but firm. Stephen, I'm not comparing, I'm sharing my father's story about values, hard work, respect, that built this country. Colbert leaned back, his smile now mocking. Respect, interesting word, coming from someone who's built a career on violent roles, glorifying war, pushing this toxic masculinity. That's hurt our culture, don't you think? The air turned electric with tension. Camera operators exchanged glances. The audience sat stunned. Maria, in the wings, paled, realizing the interview was derailing fast. Stallone took a slow breath, his voice measured. Stephen, I came here to talk about my father, my family, the documentary. If you want to attack my career, that's your call, but keep my family out of it. Colbert, undeterred, leaned forward. Oh, family's exactly what we're talking about, Sylvester. Your brand, it's all this nostalgic America that doesn't exist anymore, this myth of hard work equaling success. Stallone's confusion mixed with growing irritation. What are you talking about, Stephen? What's your point? I'm talking privilege, Colbert said, voice sharp. Your father's story, it's touching, but it's specific, white, European, Christian, not the full picture of immigration today. Stallone's hands gripped the chair, his voice a low growl. My father worked 18-hour days, laying concrete, spoke no English, sent money to Italy. You call that privilege? Colbert's tone dripped with false sympathy. I'm sure he worked hard, but let's not pretend his experience matches a family fleeing violence in Central America or a Muslim family facing persecution. He had advantages others don't. The audience fell silent, sensing the confrontation turning ugly. Stallone's voice dropped dangerously. You don't know what you're saying, Stephen. My father slept on a cot, ate one meal a day. Don't you dare minimize his struggle. Colbert, energized by Stallone's anger, pressed harder. I'm not minimizing, I'm giving context. Your father came when being white, European, meant something different. That's reality. Stallone leaned forward, his intensity filling the stage. Reality. My father's hands bled, building this country. He was grateful every day for the chance to work. That's the reality you're twisting. Colbert's smile turned condescending. It's a great story, inspiring, but isn't it a bit tone deaf, pushing this bootstrap idea when systemic barriers block so many? The audience shifted, some distressed, others filming. This wasn't comedy, it was war. Stallone's voice rose, tone deaf. What's tone deaf? As you, in your fancy studio, making millions, lecturing me about my father's sacrifice. Turning a family story into a political jab. Colbert laughed. No humor. I'm asking legit questions about your narrative. This work hard, win big message, it ignores structural inequalities. Stallone shook his head. You're saying my father's work doesn't matter because he was white. That's your game. The producer signaled frantically from the wings, cut, but Colbert ignored, diving deeper. I'm saying we must be honest about different experiences in America. Stallone's laugh was bitter. Honest. You're using my family's story to push your politics, disrespecting my father for cheap points. Colbert's mask slipped. I'm not disrespecting anyone, Sylvester. You are, Stallone said, voice firm. You're telling me his struggles don't count because of his race, reducing him to a category. The studio was a pressure cooker, audience members whispering, some nodding at Stallone's words, others frozen in discomfort. Colbert tried pivoting. You're misunderstanding, Sylvester. I'm just saying. Stallone cut him off. No, Stephen, I get it. You're rewriting history to fit your agenda, dividing people instead of uniting them. Colbert's voice took a mocking edge. Oh, spare me the civics lesson, your rugged individualism, it's what's wrong with America, it blinds people to injustice. Stallone's eyes narrowed. Injustice. The injustice, as you, in your ivory tower, tearing down people who built something with their lives, using your platform to divide. Colbert, now shrill, I'm asking about privilege, opportunity, that's all. No, Stallone said, voice deadly calm, you're killing the idea that hard work matters, telling people they're victims, not fighters. The audience was riveted, some clapping, others gasping. This was raw, unscripted, a clash of worldviews playing out live. Colbert, sensing the room slipping, tried to pivot. Let's get back to your documentary. What do you hope people take away? Stallone wasn't biting. Oh no, Stephen, you started this, we're finishing it. You want my hope that people see America as a land of opportunity for anyone who fights for it. Colbert began. That's naive thinking. Stallone stood, chair scraping, voice thundering. Naive. You call believing in the American dream naive. You think it's naive to believe people can overcome and build better lives. Colbert fired back. It's naive to act like everyone has the same shot. Sylvester Stallone's fury erupted. I came here to honor my father, share a story of hope, and you've turned it into a political hit job. I'm done. The audience gasped. No one had walked out on Colbert before. His face paled, composure cracking. Sylvester, sit down, let's talk. Talk. Stallone roared. You don't want talk, Stephen, you want a soapbox to push your agenda using my family. Colbert scrambled. I'm offering perspectives on immigration opportunity. Stallone laughed. Harsh, your perspective. You mean saying my father's sacrifice doesn't matter because of his skin color, reducing him to race, not a man. The producer waved frantically, but the train wreck was live, unstoppable. Stallone moved to the stage's edge. You know what's wrong, Stephen. You've forgotten what made America great. Not politics, not programs, but people like my father who built from nothing. Sylvester, please, Colbert pleaded, voice desperate, finish the interview. Stallone turned, eyes blazing. It's over, Stephen. So is any respect I had for you. You showed your colors and they're ugly. Colbert, floundering, what are you saying? Stallone's voice carried authority. You lied to my team, said this was about the documentary, then ambushed me with your politics. That's betrayal. The audience was silent, some nodding, others stunned. This wasn't the Colbert they knew, witty, charming, but something meaner exposed. Colbert tried one last gasp. I'm sorry if you felt I was unfair, Sylvester. Stallone, at the stage's edge, looked back with contempt. Your intention was clear, Stephen, to tear down my father's legacy because it doesn't fit your story about America, to divide, not unite. Colbert, weakly, that's not true. It's true, Stallone said, gesturing to the crowd. These people came for entertainment, not your lectures on race, privilege. They deserve better honesty, respect, a host who cares about them, not his agenda. With that, Sylvester Stallone walked off, leaving Colbert alone at his desk, facing an audience uneasy with what they'd seen. The cameras kept rolling, capturing Colbert's weak smile. Well, folks, that was unexpected. We'll be back. But the silence was deafening, some booing softly, others whispering in shock. Backstage, chaos erupted, producers rushing to contain the fallout, security hovering as Stallone, flanked by his team, moved to the exit, head high, dignity intact. Maria whispered, "You okay, Sly?" Stallone nodded, voice low, "I stood for my father, that's enough." Crew members parted, some offering nods of respect, others filming the moment, knowing it was historic. Colbert, still on stage, tried to recover, but his voice cracked. The mask of the charming host gone, revealing a man who'd pushed too far. The fallout was immediate, clips flooding social media, millions of views within hours, hashtag Colbert Unmasked, hashtag Team Stallone, trending globally, fans, insiders, dissecting the clash. Crew leaks exposed Colbert's pre-show plan to go hard, ignoring producer warnings about the documentary's sensitivity, a writer admitting Stephen wanted a moment, didn't care about Sly's feelings. Stallone's supporters rallied, praising his grace under fire, while Colbert's defenders struggled, his ambush indefensible. The network scrambled, issuing a vague, "we're reviewing" statement, but insiders said executives were furious, some calling for Colbert's suspension, ratings tanking as viewers rejected his tactics. Publicists blacklisted The Late Show, wary of Colbert's ruthlessness, protecting their clients from similar traps. Stallone stayed above the fray, his team noting Sylvester appreciates the support, is focused on his documentary, Stallone saying, "Only I honored my father, that's what matters," resuming his press tour. The clash redefined Colbert's image, his witty host persona exposed as a facade for a man craving control, collapsing when challenged by a legend. Pulling a Stallone became industry shorthand for standing tall against bullies with dignity and strength, a nod to his resolve. Fans loved Stallone not just for his roles but his integrity in a town that often rewards the opposite, his walk-off, a lesson in refusing to play someone's game. Colbert's apology, days later, blaming a misstep, backfired, comments flooded with praise for Stallone's class, demands for accountability, his mask off, no spin, hiding the truth. The confrontation laid bare a reality Hollywood whispered for years beneath Colbert's charm was a need to dominate, and when faced with Stallone's unyielding spirit, he crumbled under his own ambition. This wasn't just a talk show clash, it was a reckoning, exposing the cost of weaponizing a platform against a man's legacy. Stallone's exit wasn't defeat, it was triumph, proving integrity outshines spectacle every time. What do you think of this explosive showdown between Sylvester Stallone and Stephen Colbert? Was Stallone right to walk off, or should he have stayed to fight? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe for more raw Hollywood stories. Hit that notification bell. We'll catch you in the next one.